One player that we don't know if he will be part of next season, Thomas Partey. Talking about here, improving our centre midfield with players like Declan Rice, players like Julian Timber, who could play there. Thomas Partey, somewhat out of nowhere, being linked with moves away from Arsenal. We've heard Saudi clubs come in and they're trying to, stake their claim to him and offer lucrative contracts. And allegedly, he said that he's happy to stay at Arsenal. Juventus have come in and made a bid. Maybe some other teams. Now with Xhaka going, without doubt, I'm saying we cannot lose Xhaka and Partey. I don't care who we sign, Declan Rice and whomsoever. The turnover in one position, or obviously these two, it's a partnership to play centre midfield, isn't it?
100.
The turnover shouldn't be that quick.
Nope.
So no matter who you're bringing in.
Yeah.
So for that reason alone, I'll say no, we shouldn't sell Partey. But with your business hat on, should Arsenal sell Thomas Partey?
With my business hat on.
For the audio listeners.
For the audio
business hat.
Yeah, no, from a business point of view, this is the perfect time to sell a midfielder like Thomas Partey. He's in his pomp. We can forget about, even me, if I forget the last 15%, 20% of the season where he looked like he didn't know how to put one leg in front of the other, he's been probably, again, like the best midfielder in the league, potentially in Europe. You know what I mean? Like, you could have conversations about it. If you said now, but then you look at his age, he's 30 now, he's going to start heading off that age cliff one way or another. Maybe he already started, has to, but then you start to think maybe, he just needed some rotation, blah, 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 all that sort of stuff. This would be the perfect time, which is why when you're hearing Juventus are trying to sign him for like 20 million euros or something like that, you're just laughing because it's just ridiculous. The Saudi money, although even 40 million wasn't really exciting me either. I'm not saying we need to make a profit from him, but I just think that it should be still closer to 50, personally. And I think he's even shown more. So if it was more than 50, I think he showed more than he did at his Athletic days. Even though he was still great there, but I think he showed way more what he can do. Like, he would turn a team like Juventus into potential Champions League winners if they could, pattern up one or two areas, or they could get their guys in form. So,
and stop doing illegal activity.
Yeah, and stop doing illegal activity. Yes, that's the most important thing, to be honest. But big and serious, I think, from a business point of view, it makes sense. But like you had rightly said, this isn't back in the day when we're trying to get rid of Mustafi and all these guys and we just need them out of the club. This was the linchpin of our squad, and we've already let go of like a leader in the dressing room, on the field, in Granit Xhaka. And I'm pretty sure that once we start to get guys in, you start seeing these other transfers that have probably been, finalized in the background, be authorized, because I totally agree with that. Don't let go of your players before you got cover in for them. I just think it's too big of a turnaround. I think having someone like Rice, who can maybe give Partey rest, will allow us to see the best of him for all of the season. And like you said, I don't know how many years is left on his contract, but one more season and then get rid of him. If he has another great season, his value wouldn't have gone down much more than that. We could still get a 35, 40 million for a 31-year-old, and he could go off to Saudi or, wherever, and we'll still be good. And Rice would have been able to establish himself. Then maybe we bring in one more midfielder, or even if we get Lavia as well, then maybe we don't need it and we're just able to consolidate, depending on what else happens with the rest of the squad and El Neni and people like that. But I just think it's just a wrong move. Could you even imagine if you said, you had Rice starting and Partey on the bench, and I don't know, Timber or White's there, and then you've got it. I think just having that just makes us like, bringing guys off the bench who could be starters. It's,
bro, we just had a conversation about 40, 50, 60 million pound players on the bench.
This is it.
Like, I'm still not over us effectively selling Xhaka, and I know Xhaka is different. There's rumors that there's family reasons as to why he wants to move away. And for Xhaka, his value is most likely less than Partey's. So this 12, 13, 14 million we're getting for him, whatever it is, I can understand the club just wanting to take it, and they look to making a very big signing in to replace him.
Yeah.
Partey leaving right now, we still don't know if that's going to be a replacement. We don't know if we sign Declan Rice, is he replacing Partey? We're unclear. Like I said, from a footballing point of view, there is no way he should be leaving the club this summer.
No way.
From a business point of view, I think we should definitely, if a bid comes in of like 30, 40 million, I think that's something to seriously consider. Doesn't even feel like a lot of money in the landscape of football.
No, of course not.
But I trust that Arsenal have already started thinking, who's that guy going to be that's going to replace Partey in the next season or so anyway. Yeah,
definitely.
So yeah, like you might just have to, fast forward your plans. But it's a difficult one, because if the money's there in front of you, you're trying to recoup from an 100 million Declan Rice deal, whatever the case is, like you're going to be tempted to take it and move the player along.
Yeah,
for continuity in the squad, not mixing up, not changing too much, so much. This is where I just can't see it, man. This is the engine room. Like
this is
can't be just changing an engine willy-nilly and expecting their other pieces to still work and at the heights that they worked last season. It's very, very risky to me.
Well, I think this is the thing, and especially because when we looked at like Xhaka leaving and reportedly obviously Havertz coming in, we can see already before we even actually consider Havertz that there's an opportunity for the evolution of Xhaka's role. And even saying that, I think with someone like Havertz potentially playing in that role, it will change. Like, I don't even think it will look like the Xhaka role that we saw this season, because it's just going to be a total different evolution of Arteta's football and the way he wants to play moving forward. But with someone like Partey, it just seems like we just clicked into a different gear last season, and it just seems silly to just take out two integral parts to that and then think we could just keep purring like we did last season. It just seems like, we don't know if this is a one-season wonder, or I know obviously you play 38 games and for about 31 of those or 32 we were amazing. So you think, okay, that is tried and tested, but you still got to go again. You still got to match yourself against these other teams who are improving and getting better and making signings. I just think that's a step too far. It's not that you couldn't take out, again, like for example, if you said you were going to take out Gabriel Jesus, maybe in terms of not letting him beat the starting striker and bring in someone else who was maybe just as good, you probably wouldn't feel so, but I just think Partey was so integral to the way we played that I just think it's just too much of a risk. Now, obviously, Saudi come in and slap 70 or 65 on the table.
It's a no-brainer. At that point, no-brainer. You forced my hand. Because even if I didn't want to sell him, he's 30 years old, riddled with injuries. And you're offering me that kind of money. And this is it. Yeah, exactly. And away from the money, that's what Arsenal may be thinking. We don't know if Arsenal are really considering any of these bids, even if it's 18 million from Juventus, but they still may be thinking, boy, that's 18 million from Juventus for a guy that's riddled with injuries, and 30 years old. Like, should we do this deal right now? Like, so it's difficult. I think if we had clarity, it feels like we knew we were signing Declan Rice and Caicedo. Then I guess I still wouldn't want Partey to go in the same window.
100,
but it definitely softens the blow.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think having the transparency, having the assuredness that these players are coming in would make you feel a bit better. But there's no way, and I don't think the club would, because it's shown that we've known about Xhaka leaving for a while and we still haven't got the green light, which makes me think we want the players in, then we'll start letting people go. But I just think as well, we kind of spoke about the whole having a squad of players you can trust, and you need about 16, 17, 18, getting rid of one of your trusted assets just doesn't make sense with the first Champions League season coming up in, it's so exciting because you just think, bro, like, I think the last one we played was I just know it was the season when Sanchez and Ozil was still there. I think. Yeah, I don't know. I think it was the one. I just remember that we beat Ludogorets, like we slapped them like 6-0 or something at home.
Is that the match that Ozil scored that goal?
No, that was the away leg, but it was that season. I think that was the last Champions League season. But yeah, like it's been so long. I just think have as many sick, trusted players that you can have. Getting rid of someone like Partey at this moment just doesn't make any sense. And let's just really give it a good go in all these competitions where we can really rotate, where you can say, cool, Partey's playing flipping Porto on Tuesday, but then it's all right. Declan Rice, he only played 30 minutes. He'll come and he'll start the game against Aston Villa away. You know, then you just feel comfortable whenever you see the lineup.
You're right, yeah. One thing I would just say off the back of that last comment you made, I have to say, especially this season, and maybe it was within this last period of the season where he wasn't at his best. Off the bench, Thomas Partey looks awful,
bro. Yeah,
it may just be because of how he was playing in general at that point of the season, but he couldn't catch the pace of the game if his life depended on it.
Yeah,
that could be another thing they're looking at. Well, if we do relegate him to the bench because we've got better players, and you know we can sell the dream of you'll be a great off the bench player, impactor as we're being called at Arsenal now. Like, is he?
I mean, probably not.
Form. It could just be form.
It could be. But I think. I mean, I'm thinking if I was a player, I think you could sell me on minutes. You could sell me on, listen, like, you know, you're in the first, like, I feel like I'm selling myself a dream. Like, you're in the group of the first team players. Like, you're in the first 11 team. Yeah. You know what I mean? But there will be times where you won't start the game, but you'll be coming on for decent minutes. You know what I mean? And I think that's what players want to hear, that you're not just going to forget about me on the bench, which is, you know, a bit off topic, but about why there were some rumblings in the Smith Rowe camp, because he got himself fit, he got the surgery, and then he was just forgotten about on the bench. Whereas I think if he was getting 30 minutes, 20 minutes more, you know, substantial minutes, then there wouldn't have been an issue for us to have this meeting with his team to be like, don't worry, we're not selling him, you know, to kind of get into Arteta's head to find out what the hell is going on. So if you're able to tell Partey, look, you're still in the makeup of the team, you will still start games. Yes, some will be off the bench, but we're going to share the minutes because we want to keep the team fresh, because we saw where we went wrong in April, you know, where things fell off because players like yourself had played a lot of minutes. And as much as you want it, your body can only do so much. And I don't think he would be, I think coming into like the twilight of his career, I don't think that's something that he would be adverse to hearing. You know, he probably still wants to keep his body fresh. He's probably thinking, I still want to make some millions for the next 3-4 years at a minimum. So, I think that would even be music to his ears, or I would hope so. Or if I was Partey and someone told me that, I'd be here for it. Obviously, if things change, then you can readdress it. But having Partey, Rice, you know, potentially Lavia, you know, in a dream world, Caicedo, Ødegaard, and you know, even Mo Elneny, bro. Like, I'm smiling, I'm happy. Like, you know, that's a team that you can rotate in and out, and you know, fit Smith Rowe maybe at left 8 as well, or Vieira, you know, Ødegaard's role rotating in, better season. You know, you come to a point where you're happy now, outside of taking in things like form. You're happy with the team that's out there because you know that you've got quality coming in. And even when it dips off, you've got other players around who, you know, it's not bad. Yeah, maybe it's not my preferred 11, but it's an 11 who should be able to get the job done and make a good account of themselves. So let's keep our Ghanaian brother here, man.
Yeah, man. Let's watch this space when it comes to Thomas Partey. It's going to be very interesting over the summer.